Youngboy has just scored a major win in his trial. Let's dive into it. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Rashad Crenshaw back again with another video. Now, in NBA Youngboy's trial, the judge has decided to throw out NBA Youngboy's rap lyrics. In court, the legal team of NBA Youngboy said these lyrics are highly prejudicial as they discuss hardcore rap, which has been empirically established to be more negatively received than other genres of music. It would be one thing if the music described this arrest, but a song referencing a similar gun well before the gun in the indictment was purchased, and another song referencing a jeweler whose relationship with Mr. Golden, NBA Youngboy, is not in dispute, offer very minimal probative value, and are substantially outweighed by the prejudice contained within the words of the songs. Now, that's a lot of word spaghetti, a lot of fancy schmancy shit, but basically the lawyer is saying the music that NBA Youngboy has put out does not indicate that NBA Youngboy himself purchased these firearms. Just because NBA Youngboy raps about FNs and Uzis and Glocks and NBA Youngboy was in possession of these weapons doesn't necessarily mean that NBA Youngboy had anything to do with the possession of those weapons, because keep in mind, NBA Youngboy himself was in the company of other people in a lot of these gun charge situations. He then goes on to continue. Even if Mr. Golden is familiar with various models of guns and sings about them, it does not mean that he knew this particular gun was secreted on the passenger floor of the Maybach when police attempted to pull his car over and arrest him. Now serving pretrial house arrest after his release from jail in October, Golden has pleaded not guilty in both the California and Louisiana cases that center on essentially the same charge, that he was a felon in possession of a firearm deemed off limits due to his 2017 conviction for aggravated assault with a firearm. Now, this is a massive win for NBA Youngboy, because unlike Gunna and Young Thug right now, who have to deal with the reality of their lyrics, NBA Youngboy is dealing with a much different situation. Now, what we got to keep in mind is that these are different people, different jurisdictions, different states. This is not a simple situation of the police. This is not the police. These are different states and cities handling different cases with different people with different charges. So I don't want to hear people saying shit like, why can't Gunna and Young Thug get that? It's different. It's different, right? This isn't like Young Thug when he sit there and spoke about, I shot at his mommy, he no longer mentioned me. Right after YFN Lucci's mama house got shot up. This isn't like Young Thug saying in an interview, if I didn't like what that nigga was doing for his mama, I would have been killed him. That's completely different, and you know it. NBA Youngboy is facing gun charges for being in possession of a firearm while being a convicted felon. Now, NBA Youngboy, in this situation, his lawyers have managed to get the lyrics tossed out, which means these guys have to figure out some other form of substantial evidence that they can use to link NBA Youngboy to these firearms, because they gotta prove it's NBA Youngboy's. Just because Youngboy was riding around in the vehicle doesn't necessarily mean NBA Youngboy purchased the firearm. Doesn't mean it's his firearm. Who did he get the vehicle from? Where did he acquire the vehicle? Was it a rental? These are questions that I'm not necessarily sure if these questions have been answered yet. But all in all, this is a very big win for NBA Youngboy, because now, even if NBA Youngboy referenced specific weapons that were found in these vehicles, even if NBA Youngboy mentioned specific weapons, the magazines that he had for those weapons, the amount of magazines, the amount of ammunition that goes into each magazine, even if he mentioned a bunch of shit that you just could not deny is connected, the judge has basically said, look, I don't care what comes up. This guy's lyrics, I'm not going to allow those lyrics to be used in court. You're going to have to find another way by which to get this guy, because I'm not letting you use lyrics to get NBA Youngboy. It's not going to happen. And given the fact that NBA Youngboy was in a very tight bind before this, given the whole Operation Never Free Again situation going on, and them telling him that he would have to give up his properties and massive amounts of money in exchange for bond simply because he had guns he wasn't allowed to have, this is a very big win for NBA Youngboy, given everything that we've seen prior to. Is Youngboy going to be able to walk away from this one? I don't know. Who's to say? But the cops were looking to use his lyrics against him, and it now looks like they're being tossed out. Now, how do I feel about this case? This is a bit different from the case with Gunna and Thug. This is a situation of Youngboy, who's a convicted felon, being in possession of firearms he's not allowed to be in possession of. Now, do I believe that NBA Youngboy was being a villain here, a menace to society by being in possession of these weapons? No. I don't believe NBA Youngboy was being a fool by being in possession of these weapons, but I also do believe he was being a fool. Now, what do I mean by that? A man reserves the right to defend himself no matter what his criminal record. Life doesn't care about your felony conviction. A nigga might run up on NBA Youngboy, and the only difference between Youngboy breathing in the next hour or not is him having that shit on him and pulling it out and defending himself. However, that situation never happened. So we got to take into account Youngboy kept that thing on him, allegedly, and now he's facing years in prison for having a firearm. If Youngboy decided to keep security with him, legal security, he probably wouldn't be in the position he's in now, where he's fighting for his freedom, simply for wanting to defend himself from ops. Dudes breaking into his crib. We saw Jay Prince's little flunkies go break into Youngboy's crib and take his fucking umbrella and his goddamn keys to his car, with the fucking backpack gang from Jay Prince taking fucking objects and items that these niggas are the type of niggas to take one shoe from your fucking crib. The other shoe is in the crib. They took the other shoe. You sitting there with only one shoe to the pair. Then the kind of niggas we talking about. The niggas that take the fucking banana out of the peel and just leave the peel in your crib. Like, these are the type of, like, Youngboy has to worry about weirdos coming in his fucking crib and taking the remote to the TV. Like, that's the kind of shit he got to worry about. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, Youngboy got to worry about niggas coming in his fucking crib and fucking turning the water on and leaving. Like, that's the kind of shit this nigga got to worry about. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being for real. The nigga got to worry about niggas coming in his crib and taking the remote to the fucking TV. So, with that being said, with verified evidence of niggas playing with Youngboy, coming to the nigga crib, trying to take his shit, is Youngboy wrong for wanting to defend himself? No. But Youngboy intelligently should have acquired security. And while you have security, you go through the legal system and you try to appeal so that you can get your ability to get your right to defend yourself, your right to possess a firearm despite being a felon. You can do that, especially if you're a popular rapper and you have evidence that niggas is playing with you. Jay Prince magically has your stolen items. Niggas is recording themselves coming into your crib and taking keys to your car and the umbrella and raising the seat up and fucking turning the mirror to the side and all kind of fuckery. You can prove that these people are fucking with you. So now you got a case to come to these people and say, Your Honor, I want to apply for my right to defend myself. Is fuck niggas breaking into my house, fucking with my shit. Instead, Youngboy chose to keep that thing on him. He chose to keep that fire on him, and that comes with consequences. So, honestly, all in all, if Youngboy committed the crime, he's got to do the time. But I don't believe Youngboy should be locked up for anything longer than 3-4 years. I don't think Youngboy deserves a prison sentence long enough for him to lose his career. The man wanted to defend himself. He took the risk. I respect any man who's willing to defend himself. Gun charges, weed charges are the charges I don't feel strongly about. But hopefully, Youngboy, if Youngboy is in the wrong and Youngboy has to do his time, he does his time. But I don't look at this situation the same way that I look at the Thug and the Gunna case. This seems to be a W for Youngboy. The judge has decided not to use the lyrics. So we'll see what happens. Comment, like, subscribe.